is just getting started. The Americans have managed to defeat the most powerful empire in the world. And their bloody fight.
Now listen to this.
Now, the former rebels turned their attention to the task of building a new nation. One of the early voices calling for a strong, unified national government is Alexander Hamilton, who had served as General George Washington's
You said under God,
chief
though.
aide.
So it would be equality. Equality of
When the
land
revolution ends, Hamilton turns his focus from war and politics
and everything.
to prosperity, as the ambitious 26-year-old returns home to his adopted city of New York, into the arms of society socialite Elizabeth Schuyler.
So as they built,
She was beautiful. She
ask
was
yourself
pretty, she was
to
sparkly, she was
African Americans,
cultivated, and
did they get
he
their
was
fair share?
absolutely smitten.
So that part wasn't
They were
God.
introduced at a
So
party
if a
hosted
country
by
was to
General
repent,
Washington
wouldn't that be
early
a
in
sin
1780,
that they repent
having
of?
met briefly once
Or
before.
would they claim manifest
Hamilton
destiny?
fell in
Which
love
one?
with her, and with her
Either it's going to
influential
look like it is in
connections.
heaven,
In the day,
in
no
this
one had
earth,
to ask who
if it's a
the
Christian
Schuyler's
nation,
were.
or it's going to look
They
different.
were elite. They were
Now,
powerful.
Wood Jesus
You
had
could get
used the
yourself into
slaves,
Schuyler family. You
gave
could
them no
be-
land, took all the land by force, and then, or paid pennies on the dollar from wherever they bought it. And we didn't get land rights till 1968 as far as being steered out of ghettos.
Just a year after the wedding, their first son.
And that's not an issue? Well, they're not going to address it to government, but the African American
now has the
community,
family pedigree
as
and
far
bona fide
as churches
reputation
go,
that will open doors.
they should collectively do something about it like they did. Not with guns, but with faith, the love of God,
Passes the
and
bar
plans
6
like
months later.
communities.
Many of his early cases are
Having your
representing
own
loyalists being sued
hotel
over
for the
disputed
homeless
property
and,
claim.
you know, feeding camps and things for the homeless and for the especially widows and fatherless and strangers in communities on a mass level, collectively, or on whatever level they can. But don't expect them to do it. They didn't do it then. They're not really giving you reparations now. And sorry, brother, each group that come here and use the principle of collectivity against individualism, they win because they have enough to buy the store, get the loan, live in one house, get another store, buy several houses, start making investments because of collectivity and multiplication. We're being told if you just put some money in the bank, everything's going to be all right. And yet we have poor Christians being evicted as we speak. What if we would have bought Barris land and burned up housing debts like we did church titles? All I'm saying, they built this thing for their people. I'm not mad at them because they did that. They got to answer to God for the usury. But we dang sure shouldn't be in the church using anybody to get rich like they did. Are you hearing me? Based on tapping into the principle of multiplication to the point where they wouldn't even help the slaves get anything, but just continually use them all along while they were building. That is the picture of the church to the world. It looks like the people are building something, but the 1%, that being the fivefold, have benefited. And all the land is gone. I'm just giving you a scenario. And the people live in huts or on the streets. Our poor brethren cries to the Lord of the harvest, who mowed our fields and sowed into our ministries, and we can't hear them. We don't want to restore what was stolen from them. We make excuses and bring legalism in and say, well, they should have paid their tithes and should have been obedient. Instead of loving tender mercies, loving kindness, as David showed for Mephibosheth or something like that, to restore, you understand? To restore and deliver from the power of capitalists, interest on mortgages and stuff, and go in that direction of family, truly being family. Church would have took more souls than they, and impacted more people than they ever could imagine. Talking to African American churches. Not the doctrine that says Christ blessed me and I legally got my way through my blessings by deserving it because I paid God and I don't have to help my brother. You just need to be obedient. That lazy man's excuse not to pick him up off the ground and carry him to the hospital like Jesus said and do the good Samaritan, nor kill the fatted calf for the one, or break the alabaster box, break the whole bank if it costs that to save one. Have that kind of attitude and really trust God on our security of what we think is the people are the security. But if the people start giving, it would not destroy the church. Instead, by the building up of one another and giving one another to the love of God, the church will gain its credibility back and be respected, especially when they see us fighting through the fight of faith, through the love of God, buying mass lands, something on that level, and building communities for our elders and our disabled, taking a load off the government and being the church, dealing with money. I'm just saying, you got a Saddleback community, Google it, in California. That church has already done something like that. I'm just saying, Project Restoration, Jeremiah 23 and Hood. This is a marathon, not by power, not by the force of will. It's going to have to be by the Spirit of God against all odds. We run this marathon.